Sip, what's going on, y'all? Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a happy, if you celebrated the 4th of July. So I know here in Texas, I'm in Houston. For those that don't know, just a Sip, Smoke, and Share running. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. So this week, over this past weekend, we had some torrential rain, rainfall, and there was some flooding up north of us near the Guadalupe River. And the death toll this morning, according to the news, ABC News, 80 people perished during the flood, and 23 of those 80 people were children. A large number of those children were at camps, summer camps, Christian camps that are stationed along the Guadalupe River. And if you see the time-lapse photo, within 30 seconds, where it took 30 minutes, which they time-lapsed it down to about 30 seconds, the water, was over his banks by 40 feet in width. So my heart goes out to the loved ones of those kids, and it's just heartbreaking to think that you send your child to a camp for the summertime, and then something tragic like this happened. Also, there were people that were camping along the river or missing. There was a whole family that's missing. It's just a tragic thing. But also, too, as a father, my heart goes out to those parents that have to bury their children. And also, too, over the weekend, I got a chance to deliver my son a vehicle that I bought for him. I've been looking for a vehicle for a while, but this weekend I got to deliver to him. And it's one thing when your child is hurting and it's nothing that you can do when you have a person or a son or a child that's in their 20s and you can't do anything to help them, especially when you have children that are so independent. But one of the most rewarding things this weekend that I have to say is that to deliver my son the vehicle that me and his mother bought for him, it's so rewarding to see his reaction. And I always think about it, and I always tell him that I'm gonna always be your daddy. And when I see him, I always think about that little fella, growing up, when he gets something, or and he give me that big smile and he get this look on his face, and I saw that in him. He's 24, but I saw that child, that little fella that used to smile and giggle and grin, but he didn't do as much of that because he had one of his buddies with him. But, he said something that just kind of touched my heart. As he thanked me, and we didn't do a lot of talking, but until, a couple of days later, but he said he didn't have the words to express how grateful and the gratitude and the thankfulness that he felt for what we did for him. And it just does something to me as a dad, for my son to say he couldn't put his feelings in words, his thoughts. He couldn't, do it because he was so thankful for his mom and his dad. And it just makes me feel good and proud as a dad that I can still do for my son. I don't have to do for him, but I want to do for him because I'm a dad. And this weekend was been mixed with a multiplicity, big word, of emotions, because when you wake up and hear that and they reported there were 10 kids. In one of my other videos, there were 10 kids from the Houston area. But in total, there were 23 children between the ages of 7 to 15. And then there was a high school student that she's considered an adult, but she just graduated from the Houston area and was going to UT and was a camp counselor and got swept away in the flood. And you see some of the aftermath of the flood, man. It's just hard. It's horrible. So I just feel the pain as a parent, as a dad, You know, and some of y'all can't relate to that because you didn't have a dad in your life, or you're not a dad to your kids, or you're a part-time dad who just shows up for events and pictures. But for a real dad, your real dad's out there understanding. If you're a real dad, drop a comment and drop a comment below if you're a real dad, and if you're there for your kids, regardless of the situation, regardless of how you feel about that baby mama, you're gonna always stand up and stand in your kid's life, man. So today is Monday. Happy Monday to y'all. You know, so that's all I want to say. Again, if you like this content, because this is a glimpse into my life, hard work and adventure, and the stuff that I do, you understand? Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment, and say I feel that. So that's all I gotta say. Sip, sip.